Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to study some applications of Sylow's theorem. So far, we have studied Sylow's theorem, its important results, and some of its important examples. Okay. If I talk about the third part of Sylow's theorem, then it says whenever we want to determine NP that represent number of Sylow P subgroup that is always congruent to one mode P. Okay, so this congruence relation is very important in the case of groups whose order is small. Okay, so for the groups of small order, this congruence condition of Sylow's theorem alone is sometimes sufficient to force the existence of a normal subgroup, and the moment we have existence of normal subgroup, we can give some conclusions about the simple groups. Okay, so this is how the Sylow's theorem is so important in the discussion of abstract algebra. So let me start some discussion of the application of Sylow's theorem with the example of groups of order PQ. Okay, so let me write the an example. So this example says, this example is discussing groups of order PQ. Okay, where P and Q are primes and P is less than Q. Okay, this is given to us. Then example is, let order of G equals to PQ. We will consider it as a question and then we will determine the solution. Okay, so let order of G is PQ for primes P and Q with P is less than Q. Okay, now let capital P is in the set of all Sylow SYL P of G. That means this capital P is Sylow P subgroup of G, and let Q be in SYL Q of G. That means this is a Sylow Q subgroup, right? Then show that Q is normal in G. Okay, and if P is normal in G, then G is cyclic. Then G is cyclic. Okay, so whenever we have a group of order PQ, that means let me consider some example. For example, if I consider, say, G equal to order of G equals to 15, that can be written as 3 into 5, and 3 and 5 both are prime. Now we can say, if we talk about the Sylow 5 subgroup, then this is always a normal, always a Sylow 5 subgroup. Okay, and that will be normal in G. So we will have a proper normal subgroup of G, and hence G will not be simple. Now, if we have a normal subgroup, that normal P subgroup, then this G becomes cyclic. Okay, so thus this important is very this result is very important. This looks simple, but it has a great applications. Let us start the solution. In the solution, we will discuss the first part, in which we are going to prove that whenever we have this scenario, then Q has to be normal in G. Okay, so let me write the first heading, that we are trying to prove that Q is normal in G. Okay, so हम ये heading के नीचे काम करेंगे. So let order of G is equal to PQ, where P and Q are primes with P is strictly less than Q. ठीक है. Also let P be a Sylow P subgroup of G and Q be a Sylow Q subgroup of G. ठीक है. Then we will show that Q is normal in G. ठीक है. हमें ये पता है कि जब कभी भी किसी भी प्राइम पी के लिए सीलो पी सबग्रुप अगर यूनिक है देन इट इज ऑलवेज नॉर्मल. सो लेट मी राइट दिस रिजल्ट हियर दैट यूनिक सीलो subgroups are normal. We are going to use this result. So let us identify the number of Sylow Q subgroup. Then the number of Sylow Q subgroups that is and Q follows first condition क्या है that n q has to be congruent to 1 mod q, or we can write this n q always equal to some 1 plus k q for some k that is positive, okay, non-negative. देन द सेकेंड कंडीशन इज दैट जब भी हम एन क्यू की बात करेंगे तो ये हमेशा जी के ऑर्डर में जो रिमेनिंग फैक्टर है उसको डिवाइड करेगा. दैट मीन्स एन क्यू विल डिवाइड पी. एंड द थर्ड कंडीशन इज दैट एन क्यू डिवाइड मीन्स इससे हम क्या कह सकते हैं, दिस इम्प्लाइज 1 प्लस के क्यू डिवाइड्स पी. ठीक है, वेर अगेन के इज नॉन नेगेटिव नंबर. And then we have that this P is less than Q. So 1 plus KQ has to be divide this P and this Q is greater than P. So what is the possibility for this K? K has to be equal to 0. Only in that case this 1 plus KQ will divide P. Otherwise अगर K की वैल्यू कुछ भी नॉन जीरो होती है पॉजिटिव में देन दिस क्वांटिटी विल बी ग्रेटर देन पी एंड इन दैट केस दिस कैन नॉट डिवाइड दिस पी, राइट. सो वी हैव फ्रॉम these 3 1 2 and 3 we must have that q equals to 0, right. So k has to be equal to 0 and this implies nq equals to 0 and this implies there exists unique Sylow Q subgroups of and G, and this implies which is Q जो हमने सपोज किया. दिस implies Q is normal in G. ठीक है. Now we are going to prove that whenever we are able to have that this P is normal in G then G is cyclic. ये हमने prove करना है. ठीक है. So this is going to be second part of our proof. So if P is normal in G, we are having a condition here, okay, that if P is normal, we are not sure that P is always normal like Q, but here we must have that P is not normal. ठीक है. तो उस केस में जब कभी भी P नॉर्मल है देन इन दैट केस देन G is cyclic. That we will prove. Okay. Again we will consider the number of Sylow P subgroups and will apply the conditions of number of number of any Sylow p subgroup. ठीक है. So let me write the first one. पहली possibility क्या है that